Now in the chapter, when we talk about circuits, we usually won't make circuits with capacitors. We're going to make circuits with batteries. And the reason we do that is this. A battery is a source of what's known as EMF. If I look at a battery, there's a positive terminal, there's a negative terminal. There's a separation of charges between these two terminals. But there's something about the separation of charges, and that's this. It's maintained by chemical action inside the battery. So with a capacitor, when I let the charges flow, the energy is produced by the separation of charges in the capacitor. When the charges flow, there's no more charges, there's no more energy, the capacitor is discharged and the bulb goes out. But in a battery, the separation of charges is produced by chemical action inside the battery. And so the charges at the positive terminal and at the negative terminal are continually replenished. That's why it's an EMF. It's a source not just of current, but of energy. And so if I connect a light bulb to a battery, charges flow through this circuit, and as charges flow through this circuit, the bulb lights and it will stay lit until I run out of chemicals inside the battery. Now, I want to think about this circuit because this is going to be our basic circuit for the chapter. Positive charges get raised from the negative terminal to the positive terminal of the battery. Then they go through this wire. Then they drop through this wire. And they fall downhill in some sense. They fall to a lower potential. They end up coming back here, and they get raised up inside the battery for another go-around. This is our basic circuit. And we have a diagram in the chapter that outlines it. And whenever we think about any circuit, we're going to think back to this physical model. Charges come into the battery, get raised up to higher energy. They travel, they fall to a lower energy state inside the light bulb, then come back and get sent to a higher energy state again inside the battery. And this is something we're going to explore in more detail in the next segment.